feel to be performing in the most fashionable pop-up theatre in London. That's what it's been called. Did you know that?
Yeah, I've heard.
I mean, there's in the world of pop-up, better to be in a pop-up theatre, I guess, than a pop-up hamburger stand or something like that.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
That's true. Or a pop-up STD clinic.
They have those too now, apparently.
Yeah, thank
yes,
goodness.
They do. It's a pop-up world. No, but I guess in the world of pop-up theatre, people are coming that ordinarily may not come, or they're excited about coming because it is a pop-up thing.
Yeah.
What's the space like? Tell the people who haven't been to Found 111.
Well, shall I can take that.
Okay.
I mean, it's the old Central St Martin's Art School building, and it's right next to Foyles, and so there's sort of culture and art in the walls and in the bricks all around us. It's got such a great legacy in that regard. And it was amazing. There was a play that I did earlier in the year called The Dazzle, which is about these two New York brothers, the Collier brothers, who historically died when all this clutter that they'd amassed over many years fell on top of them and buried them alive.
So it sort of worked quite well.
Well, it did, and so when we sort of thought about that, we thought, well, we want to find a space that people don't know, that they're unfamiliar with. Right. We can walk them into a new world, we can surround them with bric-a-brac, and we can sort of give them that experience that is, where you break the routine slightly of just going to the theatre, sitting in the same chair that you like, you can get a gin and tonic from that bar and coming back, but instead you have to walk up 100 odd steps.
But you still have gin and tonic.
There's still gin and tonic, just to help you up those last couple of stairs.
Right.
But it had an amazing impact on the play and on the audience, and so it's now been about finding plays that fit into this. I mean, it's a little room, there's 130 people watching it, you're close enough to, you're all breathing the same air in that room.
That's the exciting thing about this sort of space though, isn't it? That you're actually up close and personal. You can almost touch the actors. Is that something that appeals to you when you have to do a play?
It appeals to me more. I mean, this will definitely be the smallest space I've ever performed in. Rather that than I was going to say they're too big, but that makes it sound like overcompensating.
I guess if you're in a big venue, things are going well.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard the sizes and everything, right?
That's what you do.
You can do a lot with it, with a small thing. I'm looking forward to it. I mean, I'm very nervous because I feel like it's a bit. I don't know. It's a bit invasive having someone sort of check your performance out that close, but kind of have our work cut out for us, I guess.
Yeah.
Tell me, do you feel, talking about nerves and things, do you feel any responsibility to Sam Shepard? This is an important play for him, an important play for theatre, really, isn't it?
Responsibility? I don't know. I'm a little intimidated by him. But not what I've heard about.
I feel like the play's done very well by him, and there's been a lot of great productions for it, and so I don't think that I'm going to do it any damage. So I'm not going to ruin its reputation. So I don't feel. It's not fair to say I don't feel any responsibility. I try not to think about it.
Okay, you just go to the work. Yeah. So tell us about the work. Fool for Love is set in a rundown motel, and it's centered on you two,
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the Mojave Desert, does that have anything to do with it?
Yeah, it does. It's a good no man's land kind of zone. There is a lot of questions. There are a lot of questions that aren't really answered in the play, like just like facts. It's all a bit slippy, kind of like quicksand, kind of like the desert. It's a great environment. It's a great limbo.
You both have connections to America. It seems to me that as actors, you sort of represent this new generation of actors that seem to be able to do television, film, crossover from the US to the UK quite easily. Right. Whereas before, I think that was such a big jump.
It was, wasn't it?
Do you think?
It was like, I think so. Just the way that careers worked out and the way that those two worlds really didn't speak to each other.
But I mean, it must be nice to be able to jump between television and theatre and.
It really is, right? It's nice that there's no divide anymore. But it does seem like a new thing in our generation.
Yeah, to me that's just the luck of employment. For me, it's not by design, by any.
It's dictated by the phone.
I don't know.
So I can say as well that this space is a place that rewards you guys both have loads of experience playing big spaces, but there are other actors who you might go, if they've done TV, you wouldn't immediately put them on the Olivier stage because it's just a very different set of skills.
Right.
But up there, you can do it. Because
So in that way, is there a sense of liberation, playfulness? We've got a space, let's just create some theatre.
It does seem like that. I've heard that it changes, the atmosphere out there changes from show to show.
Yeah.
We've only had the chance to see one of the shows that was there. I wish I'd seen the other one. But it is that kind of, alchemical space that can change depending on what show's in. And because it's like 1-to-1, the ratio, like what you're thinking is what comes across. You know what I mean? Like it seemed like that when I was watching that one upstairs, like everything you do really happens in that real time.
Yes.
It's not like on stage where anything can be a gesture or a symbol of something expressive. It's like, which I find really exciting. Also kind of, it's scary but also really relaxing.
You worked in Riddle Street together?
River Street.
Riddle Street's a great name.
Yeah, the Riddle Street is a great name. That's the kinder, friendlier River Street.
River Street, I beg your pardon. River Street. It hasn't been on my radar, River Street. Of course, I beg your pardon. It hasn't been on my radar. I am way behind in TV series and all that sort of thing. I saw a little snatch from an interview where you said you weren't sure when you went into it whether it was going to be a hit. That's always the way though with the show, don't you? With a TV, with any project, I guess. You're never sure whether it's going to really kick in.
Yeah, I mean, you're not even sure. I would say fundamentally, you're not even sure if it's going to be any good. Right. A hit doesn't even. I mean, that never enters into my mind. I'm just
because there's too much work to be done.
It's like the first thing I wonder. I was like, will I be any good? And then worrying about if it's, I mean, it's like those are when you start worrying about if something's a hit or not. That's a pretty high set of concerns that.
But looking back, it must be nice now to be able to see this thing that people love.
I can't believe I was involved. Yeah, no, I can't.
Have you had much to do with one another in River Street?
Yeah, quite a bit.
Yeah, I just came in as to be his girlfriend just for a couple of series. So all my stuff is with Adam.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
That's not all she is.
That is what I am.
No.
I mean it is. And I loved it.
One of the great loves of my life in the show. What are you talking about? Not just my girlfriend.
You didn't know this?
They're very fun characters.
Okay. It must make this experience in the theatre and this play easier. The fact that you know one another, there's less. Yeah.
I mean, yeah. The answer is just yes to that one. Yeah.
It's an intense piece of writing, Fall for Love.
Yeah.
And the fact that these guys came with history already and with chemistry already means that you're starting at a bit more of a run than you would already.
We didn't have to get to know each other.
No.
We were already sick of each other by the time we walked in, which is a good place to start.
Yeah. This is fun. What is your favourite medium? Talking about jumping from film to television to theatre.
I like doing plays.
Plays?
I like theatre.
Why?
Yeah. Because the whole thing is fun. With some stuff, there's like, this is the shit bit, but then this is the payoff. With filming and stuff. There's some.
You mean waiting around, or
that
not
kind
getting
of
enough
thing.
rehearsal, or
not being in the bloodstream of the whole production the whole way through. Whereas with this, we come in and we're all. That's it, and that's every day that you go to work. You're getting that kind of fulfilling experience. So.
How about you, Adam?
I guess it's not a preference. Just theater is where I started, and I guess it's where I feel most like an actor. You know what I mean? So, but it's the most. I feel like it's the most frustrating of all of
because
it's just I find it very difficult. You know what I mean? You're having to. It sounds very petty, but to do it night after night, and it's almost worse when a night goes well, because you're wondering if it's going to, come off the second night. It's like escaping with your life, only to realize you have to fucking do it again.
For people who don't know this Sam Shepard play and don't know Fall for Love, and possibly you haven't been to Found 111, how would you describe this night in the theatre for them?
Describe this play or the because I don't know, I have no idea how this is going to come off upstairs, so I can say what my hopes would be. I hope I hope that people feel like it's like if people who you find entertaining are properly going at it in a room, and you feel safe enough to kind of sit in the corner and sort of watch the fire. I mean, that's what I hope it feels like.
I know you've been going at it in a nice way.
Well, yeah. Well, it's.
Oh my god.
I'm just I'm a bit worried because when I walked into this rehearsal room, you had a lasso in your hand.
So that's right.
And I see you have a bandaged finger. Is this a?
That's the tip of the iceberg.
Let's leave the finger out of this.
This is not a spoiler alert. I'm just concerned for your health.
There was with the on Friday when we were rehearsing last week. There was one time when we had to rehearse a bit that sort of no holds barred with these two.
Okay.
And so I asked stage management to leave us in the room for a second, so that these guys could, without everybody watching, just have a go at it.
Really?
And when stage management came back in, there was a broken glass over there. There was a bit of furniture being broken.
Piping everywhere.
Piping everywhere. Things fell out. Picture had fallen off the wall. And the stage manager came in and looked at me with horror on her face.
I don't want to know.
That's
Don't
right.
tell me.
But they won't allow me to be left alone with these guys.
Well, now you've intrigued
Really
everyone
bad
who's listening to this
stuff.
interview.
That's right.
You've intrigued us. We're really looking forward to it. Good luck with the rest of the rehearsal.